So, today's actually my birthday. I wanted to do something a little special with a little bit of, actual meaning behind it. So, I did a little brainstorming. I stayed up and tried to think of cool ideas, something I could whip together for you guys as like just a general celebration sort of thing. And I came up with the idea of talking about my favorite games ever made, and I was like, okay, well, am I just gonna do a top 10 or something simple? And I'm like, you know what? No. It's my 22nd birthday, so I'm going to rank my favorite games from 1 down to 22 with no repeats, no repeats, one game per franchise, or else like half this list would just be various Persona games and spin-offs. Didn't think that was exactly interesting, so I limited myself to one per franchise. And I picked just some of my favorite games ever made to talk about here. And some of these other games are going to be getting their own individual videos later, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about each game, but without further ado, let's go. Starting from number 22. I know I'm going to get basically crucified for saying this, but Tales from the Borderlands is my favorite Telltale game. I love the world, I love the characters, its humor, everything about it honestly just really spoke to me, and I've enjoyed it. I replayed it multiple times. It's really, really funny, and I mean like actually funny, not like Borderlands funny, so take that for what it's worth. And I do really love the Borderlands games in the franchise. I'm very excited for Borderlands 3, but I don't know, man, Tales just has always had this really special spot in my heart. I love Reese and Fiona and Sasha and Vaughn and all these characters, and I'm really happy to see them coming back in future Borderlands games. Really wish this one got a proper sequel though, but, well, too late for that. Alright, let's rewind a couple years to a game from my childhood, Perfect Dark Zero. Now, I know that this game has problems, trust me, I get it, but man, this game was so much fun. It definitely is a big tonal shift from the original game, which I do enjoy a lot, but man, just this game, I have so many memories with this game. Playing through the co-op with me and my uncle, playing the multiplayer for hours and hours on the the desert map, just endlessly mowing down all these AIs, going through the campaign on Dark Agent with all these, different, different like win conditions and stuff. Like there was just so much freedom in this game. Like even just this level that you're seeing here, the nightclub mission here, there's so many different routes you can go and like ways you can complete your objectives. I mean, ultimately your main objective is to ID the enforcers and get into the club and eventually rescue Jack, but there's like 15 different ways you can do that, and it's so crazy. Like I was watching a bunch of gameplay of this game, and people were completing this mission in ways I didn't even know you could complete. And I've beat this game maybe 10-15 times. I didn't even know half of the things you could do on this actual level. There's just so much to it. Yeah, the game has problems. It's a bit corny and cheesy, but God, this game is so fun. And honestly, like I plan on making a video on this game specifically because this game is a really, really hated game that I absolutely adore. So yeah, there you have it. Perfect Dark Zero is my 21. Another game with overwhelming freedom, we have James Bond 007 Nightfire, another classic childhood stealth shooter game that I really, really enjoyed. Now this one didn't really have too much co-op, but I think the single player was a ton of fun. This mission right here is one of the best first missions in any video game ever, but we'll talk about that at a later date. There was just so much you could do in this game. The campaign, yeah, it did kind of fall off towards the end, but it was a lot of fun. The multiplayer was a ton of fun, and it was just a really enjoyable game from my childhood. Yeah, nostalgia goggles, but even playing it recently, I still have a ton of fun with this game. Csgo is the shooter with, I believe, the highest skill ceiling, but it's also just really fun. It's still the only competitive focused shooter that I still really, really enjoy to this day. Like, I still play Call of Duty and I still play a lot of Halo, but I don't play those games competitively like I used to. However, I can always hop on to some competitive Counter-Strike. It's just, you never really know what's going to happen with these games. The game is really unpredictable, but a ton of fun. A ton of fun. Definitely one of my favorites. Nier Automata. It's a crazy good action game with crazy good story, amazing characters, and it's just really good. I can't say too much about it without getting into some serious spoilers, but damn, is this game amazing. Seriously, just go play it if you haven't already. It's really good. An easy contender for the best licensed soundtracks in the entire world, Forza Horizon 2. It's a solid racing game, honestly. I'd say the best in the series. I know that 3 and 4 are really good, but I still prefer the European countryside of Forza Horizon 2. Honestly, this world is super immersive, the racing's top-notch, the soundtrack is killer. It's really, really good. Gears of War 2 is Gears of War in its purest form. An entirely new game that is an improvement on the first in every single way is not unheard of from Microsoft. They've got a history of doing that after all. But Gears of War 2 was just leaps and bounds better than 1, introducing Horde mode and plenty of other things back before it was overly complicated and, you know, not exactly the most fun. Gears of War 2 will always, in my opinion, be the pinnacle of Gears of War. And it's good to see that it's playable backwards compatible in 4K on the Xbox One X. Whoever said the rhythm genre was dead? Rock Band 4, all these years later, is still going strong. Weekly DLC releases, new events constantly. They are killing it right now, and this has easily become the best Rock Band yet. And it's so funny because, I mean, this game kind of fell out of the public eye, and people are like, oh, the rhythm genre is dead, and I can never get that classic gameplay experiences again, but here it is right now, killing it in 2019 on current-gen consoles. It's here, and Rock Band is doing better than ever. It is legitimately really, really good. Sonic Adventure 2 is janky as hell, and that's part of why I love it, to be honest. But yeah, man, I've always been a pretty huge Sonic fan. Sonic's been a big part of my life. This game was a big part of my childhood. Yeah, the story's goofy, the acting is iffy at best, and the game has some major glitches, but man, is it fun. Even the Knuckles and, you know, Rouge stages, which a lot of people didn't seem to like, I enjoyed those. As well as, you know, of course, the Chow Garden, which is what really kept you coming back. This game had tons of replay value because of that, you know, grinding out Chow races and karate things and playing the missions and everything to go for, like, the various upgrades for the Chows. It was a ton of fun. I still play this game even now, today, and it's, janky, but fun. Alright, I can feel you judging me for this pick, and you shut the hell up, because this game, the whole Trails series, to be honest, is just top tier. Honestly, super good, underrated series for sure, and now that they're coming to PS4, I definitely think now is the time for everybody to kind of jump into these games and experience them for the first time. You know, 3 is finally coming to the West, and hopefully 4 is coming soon as well. But yeah, it's a great series. Honestly, it's a ton of fun. It is really, really good. I don't want to sit here and talk about it for too long, but it is really good. You should give it a shot. It's on PS4 now. My favorite 2D fighting game, well, my favorite traditional 2D fighting game, that is, Dragon Ball FighterZ is just something special, man. I mean, even just like the art style and how it looks and everything, there's just not many games like this. Arc System Works do magic, and this engine is just the best fighting game engine, seriously. I mean, just take a look at Grand Blue or Guilty Gear. These are the greatest looking fighting games of all time, and they also play damn well. People like to crap on Awakening just because it's the most popular Fire Emblem game that easily saved the franchise, but honestly, Awakening is really good. You know, I've played every Fire Emblem game in existence, and Awakening is still my favorite, so suck it, Fire Emblem fans. I genuinely love this game, and its characters, and its world. So I don't know if that makes me like a fake Fire Emblem fan or something, even though I've played all of them, but for some reason, whenever I say this is my favorite game, that's what all the other Fire Emblem fans tell me. Anyways, I love this game. It's home to one of my favorite gaming ships of all time in Chrom and Robin, and it is where my main Lucina in Smash Brothers is from. So I gotta put some respect on this game's name. And breaking in our top 10, we have my favorite fighting game, not 2D traditional fighting game, but fighting game nonetheless, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I do think this is the best Smash Bros. Game. There's definitely things about Melee I like more than this game, but overall as a total package, I do think this is the better game. So Smash Bros. Ultimate, my favorite Smash Brothers. You guys know how important that series is to me. I have a tattoo of it on my left arm, for crying out loud. Smash is great. I love this game. It's my number 10. Kingdom Hearts 3 is a close second, but Kingdom Hearts 2 is easily my favorite in the series, with 2FM specifically having my favorite action combat in any game ever. I know that is a lot of praise to say about this game that is essentially just the definition of press X to win, but especially in 2FM and on the higher difficulties, you really have to do a lot of thinking in this game. There's a lot of actual depth to the combat that people kind of take for granted, and I do definitely hope that one day we can see a return to that style of gameplay in the future of Kingdom Hearts, but as it stands now, I love the Kingdom Hearts series. This is just specifically my favorite, both for story, gameplay, and world reasons that I won't get into now. But love this game so much. Oh, and the data fights in 2FM are like some of the best boss fights in gaming history. The best maps, the best guns, the best sound design. Modern Warfare 2 really does have it all. Spec Ops is amazing. Those missions, doing those in co-op were some of the most iconic, you know, freaking Call of Duty moments I've ever had. Just the weapons, the way they feel, the maps, and how they play in this game are so good. That campaign, iconic. I'd still say that the Modern Warfare 1 campaign is technically better, but in every other way, this game just beats the pants off it. The best kill streaks, you know, the best just everything, the best perks. Like, everything about this game is pretty much perfect. There are definitely flaws and problems that I wish would have been ironed out, but you know, it is what it is. The game as it is now is still amazing, and it is by far my favorite Call of Duty game. From one kick-ass sequel to the next, Jedi Academy has been going on for damn near 20 years now, and it still has a very active scene on PC. The modding scene is still going strong as well. There's so much to do. One of the most in-depth, you know, lightsaber combat systems in any Star Wars game, with a really great campaign, plenty of different options and choices. Truly, this game is fantastic. But you've seen me rant enough about this game, so I'll leave it here. Alright, this game here is something special. It didn't do too well on launch, but has quickly grown to a huge cult classic in the eyes of many. Psychonauts is one of the most creative and interesting explorations of the human mind I've ever seen in not only video games, but just anything in general. It really is, there's nothing else like this game, and I hope the sequel can capture this charm and this pure creativity that this game exuded. It's got amazing characters, fantastic level design, and a really good and interesting story that centers around these psychic training camps that are training psychics to, you know, be, you know, various psychic missions and things like that. You enter people's brains and you get to see like the world through their eyes. Honestly, like it's super creative, and I don't want to spend a million years talking about this at the moment, but seriously, super good game that is a really good platformer as well. It's a lot of fun, but also really deep and meaningful. A lot of metaphor, a lot of, you know, crazy messed up stuff happens in this game. But seriously, super good. Not as good as the next couple games, but definitely really good. A Hat in Time is something special. This is legitimately one of my favorite games ever made, and I know on my Game of the Year list in 2017 I put this at number 5 as well, with a couple games that came before this even higher than it. And that list is more of a, you know, examination of the actual, like, objectively best games, I guess you could say. Games that have a lot of merit and qualities and things like that that, you know, really would push it above the edge of a game like this. But favorite, on the other hand, that is a much different story, because this is definitely one of my favorite games ever made. This is truly just a magnificent, special, amazing game that I'm going to keep playing for years and years to come, and the people who worked on this game, Gears for Breakfast, deserve a round of applause for everything they were able to achieve with this game. This is a true masterpiece, and it's only getting better with DLC. Thank you very much for making this game, and you have no idea how much it means to people like me to be able to play a game like this and have it really connect with us in a way like this. So that really, the fact that I'm ranting so much about this game should show you just how good the next 4 games are going to be. Alright, this freaking game. Now this game is so good. Jet Set Radio Future, another amazing childhood game. It really, really helped shake a lot of my musical tastes going forward as well. This game's soundtrack is to die for, and it's a ton of fun as well. A lot of meaning behind it, but other than like the obvious stuff, it is honestly just a ton of fun to skate around these different worlds and listen to these amazing tracks, and it's just a really, really good time, honestly. Halo 3 was the perfect ending to this long-running saga. Halo 1 was the first video game I technically ever played, and as such I was really invested in this franchise for years and years and years, and in 2007 when this game came out, I was a little fangirl screaming my way to Walmart to buy this game and play it with all my friends. This is one of the games I played the longest without quitting, playing it for like multiple years. Even well after ODST and Reach had come out, I was still playing Halo 3 as my primary game, making custom maps and playing custom games with friends and playing the single player campaign over and over and over again and getting as high ranked as I could in multiplayer. It was just the perfect conclusion. This game is amazing. It is truly one of the hallmarks of my gaming history, and it is one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. Final Fantasy X is the game that really kicked off my love of JRPGs. One of the earliest games I played as well, right alongside, Combat Evolved here. This game is truly something special to me. This is my favorite video game story ever told, with one of the best romances, some of the best combat, and truly my favorite of all the Final Fantasy games. I can rant and talk about this game for hours, as much as I can with the first game as well, but I won't. I'll definitely save you that one. But man, this game is truly something special. I've still really... this game is what originally showed me what video games can be, and it's what really stemmed my immense interest in the series and in gaming in general going forward. Without this game, my gaming history and my gaming experiences and my preferences and tastes are very different, and I owe that all to this one amazing game that I played when I was a kid and still play to this day. I actually make it a running tradition to do at least one playthrough of this game every year around my birthday, and I just finished up the PS4 version again, and this game still affects me the same way it did, all those years ago when I was little, and I love this game to pieces. It truly is something special, though this boss fight can go to hell. Persona 4, my favorite game of all time. Now, I mentioned that I chose one per franchise for a reason, and Persona is a big part of that reason. Now, the Persona series is my favorite video game series ever made, and Persona 4 Golden my favorite game within that series. If my list was not one per franchise, pretty much the entire list would just be Persona and its various spin-offs, with Persona 4 at the top, Final Fantasy X second, and then like 5 and 3 and all the games before that, in between that and Halo 3, because honestly, the Persona series is my favorite gaming series of all time, like I said. Persona 4, if Final Fantasy X originally showed me the grand heights that video games could achieve all the way back then in 2001 or 2 when I played it, then Persona 4 is the game that showed it to me again in my adult life. Persona 4 is, to me, now what Final Fantasy X was to me as a kid. It definitely is something special. It is my favorite of the 3 modern Personas, as well as the older games as well. I do think personally for me it is has the best cast, the best music, best overall story. Well, again, I'm not here to get into Persona debates here. I'm just here to talk about this amazing game that I love. The Persona series as a whole has my favorite turn-based combat ever made, with the once more system and all-out attacks and things like that. The Persona management systems are amazing. The real-world elements of the games are just amazing as well. It really speaks to that side of me, that pure otaku anime-loving side of me as well. So honestly, I could sit here and chat all day, and I plan to make videos on the Persona series coming soon, about why I love it so much and what it is that I love about it, just so much, because truly Persona means a lot to me. And my next tattoo, like I said, I have a Smash tattoo, but my next tattoo is gonna be a Persona tattoo. That's how much the series means to me. And all stems from my love of this game. Persona 5 is amazing as well, and definitely my second favorite in the series, but Persona 4, specifically Golden, just holds this special spot in my heart. Plus, I love pairing Narukami and Rise. They're just such a good fit, and I love it so much. They have so much chemistry, and I love it. It really makes me happy. But yeah, man, that's gonna be it for me with this. I'm glad I could sit and talk about all these amazing games that I love so much with you guys. Truly, this is my favorite game, and I haven't really had a chance to speak about it that much. I've spoken a bit about Persona 5 and things like that, but I don't think I've really got to sit and talk about Persona 4 much, so I will be making a series retrospective eventually. I know that my promises don't always come true, but I will be making a series retrospective on the Persona games eventually, and talking about, you know, each game and why I love them, and we'll probably dive into the dancing games and the fighting game and you know, things like that. It just is one of those things that means a lot to me, so making this video, especially on my birthday, just talking about all my favorite games. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what some of your favorite games are down below, or if you love any of these games on my list. I'd love to start a dialogue on this kind of stuff and really get us all talking about our favorite games, because that's all this is. My channel's been a bit negative lately, and I want to spread some positivity here. And just talk about, you know, some good games and some things that we all enjoy. You know, instead of dividing us, let's come together and talk about some good games. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.